Okay, hello and good morning. Welcome to this webinar. Today's webinar is about the ECP cameras. And I would say let's just get started. Like always, first up we're going to have a short PowerPoint presentation where we talk about a few key points of the product, and then in the second part we're going to have a demo, and in this case it's going to be an unboxing of a kit. So let's get started then with the PowerPoint presentations. This is the course agenda. We have 5 or basically 6 points. First, we're just going to talk about basically how we get started with the plug and play, because I think this is one of the key features of this product. It's easy to use and easy to handle because it's really basically just plug and play. We're going to talk about the installation scenarios. We're going to talk about some main features of the cameras. We're going to talk also about the compatibility and functions, which is going to be really interesting. And then point 5 is going to be the product range. And then, like I just said, there's a point 6, like it's going to be the second part of the webinar, which is going to be an unboxing and basically a setup of an easy installation for cameras and an UniArc recorder. Okay, so main advantages. I have 3 key points. Why should you use ECP, or why could you use ECP? First up is going to be quality and price ratio. So basically for very little money you get a really good camera. Resolution wise, we have a range from 2 megapixel all the way up to 8 megapixel. All the cameras beside the 2 megapixel cameras are metal, so really sturdy and good material, and the image quality is really good for this type of camera. Point number 2 is ECP. The name itself says it. Basically, the idea behind this camera is easy plug and play. So basically take the camera out of the box, connect it to your PoE NVR, and you don't have to do anything else. What I want to point out here is NVRs. So basically when you connect it to the NVR, so this camera is basically made for amplifying installations with UniArc, UniView or Hikvision NVRs or PoE NVRs. Why is that? Because those cameras basically act like Hikvision or UniView cameras. So they take the native protocol, not the ONWeb protocol. And therefore also number 3 is going to be important because the camera is basically acting as a native camera or is working with the native protocol. You do not have just the traditional motion detection, like when you would use the ONWeb protocol. You also have the advanced motion detection. What is advanced motion detection? Advanced motion detection is basically that you can divide it, or you can basically have detection of human body or a vehicle, not just movement in general. You can divide it between human and vehicle movement. Obviously you also have the traditional motion detection, plus you also have audio and zoom control. So this camera basically acts like a native camera. And also you don't have to set it up. Basically, after plugging it in to your PoE recorder, for Hikvision, it's the motion detection 2.0 is already activated, and for UniArc or UniView, the ultra motion detection is already activated. But we're going to see that later on, or actually in the next slide. Exactly, we have it in the next slide. So this is basically the UniView or UniArc recorder, where you can see that the ultra motion detection is already activated after plugging in the camera. You can basically see here it's on. It is not on normal motion detection. It is on ultra motion detection, and you can also see that by default the camera is making the analytics. And here at the bottom you can see the object type, like I just said, it's not classic motion detection. You can basically see human and motor vehicles, or you can divide it, or can look for human body movement or motor vehicle movement. And here at the bottom you have an example of the playback. Here in this case, you can see in here green. Here the green result is basically one of those ultra motion detections events. Exactly in here on the left bottom you can see it, human and not vehicle. Okay, so this is a big advantage working with ECP together with Hikvision or UniArc. Then installation scenarios, where can you use those cameras? Basically those cameras are made for mid-size or small-size installations. For example, you have 3 cases. Obviously they can install in different scenarios, but we would recommend it in stores, small stores, or even offices. The residences is a good option, perfect for neighborhood communities, or also in the hostelry or bar and restaurant, in bars and restaurants or cafeterias. This could be a good fit, exactly. Then main features. We have main features, 4 main features. Since a couple of weeks ago, we have now cameras also with 5 and 8 megapixel. So basically now the product range of ECP is pretty complete. We have all the way from 2 megapixels all the way up to 8 megapixels. So basically for all type of installations, we have the perfect camera. Then we have all the cameras, we have the cameras in 3 different formats. So basically in bullet and turret, and also now quite new, we have a dome camera, which would be this nice little camera here. Also like a metal housing. Exactly. Then lenses. We have fixed lenses, but we also have motorized lenses. Later on we're going to see it in the product name, how the difference is of the naming to verify which one has a motorized and which one has a fixed lens. And then we have the night vision. So basically the ECP cameras have IR light, but also LED, especially the new ones. The 5 and 8 megapixels are all dual light. Obviously not the Doom camera, but all the other cameras are dual light. Like I said, 5 and 8 megapixel. Then let's talk about the compatibility and the functions. I've just talked about it before a little bit. Obviously the main point is basically plug and play. Compatible with most popular CCTV brands. But also, like in point 3 mentioned, you can also have it integrated in third-party systems. I pointed out that it's UniView and Hikvision, but obviously all the cameras OnViv, so they're easy integratable to other brands like Sapphire, Smart, etc. So no issue there. Then point number 2 is motion detection. I pointed it out before as well. The advanced motion detection, like the ultra motion detection in UniView and UniArc, and also the motion detection 2.0 in Hikvision. And then, like many other brands as well, the configuration of the cameras can be done through the web interface, but also through the recorder. So all the functions there are there to set up your installation, depending on how you like to set it up. But basically the whole setup can be done through the recorder itself, which we're going to see later on in the demo. Okay, then product range. This is most likely the most important. Here on the first page, we're going to have, we see here the 2 megapixel and 4 megapixel cameras. Those are the cameras we had from the beginning on. As you can see here, the 4 megapixels have metal housing and have the option of a fixed lens and also of a motorized lens. The 2 megapixel cameras come just with the plastic housing and just with the fixed lens. And as you can see here, also the compatible junction boxes for each camera. And then the next page is going to be the new products we have now in stock since just a couple of days or a week, which I just said is the 5 and 8 megapixel camera. As we can see here, all cameras have metal housing. We have also here the option of a fixed lens, but also a motorized lens. In the naming itself, you can see it like all the motorized lenses, motorized lens cameras have a set in their naming. So in this case here, the EP IPB, the bullet camera 130 ZA, 5 is for the 5 megapixel, and as you can see, all the cameras have dual light, besides just the dome camera doesn't have dual light, which is, well, wouldn't make sense there, or it's not possible exactly. So, yeah, so basically with we have a complete product range all the way from 2 megapixel, which is a pretty cheap but still a pretty good camera, all the way up to 8 megapixel, and can cover basically all types of scenarios, and also with the Doom camera, an additional format of the camera. Great, so that was the first part of the webinar. Just to give you a little overview of the product range and what ECP can basically do. Now I would say let's go to the second part, which would be the unboxing. Therefore, I'm gonna just change the camera to here. And now, 1 second. What we're gonna do here is first up, as you can see already here on my table, I have already something prepared. What we're gonna do basically here is we're gonna set up one of those kits. We can find this kit here on our homepage, IP CCTV, and then we go to professional kits. We go to UniView itself, because in this case we're using an UniArc recorder, and then we can here filter for ECP, and then we have here 2 kits. One kit with 4 bullet cameras and with 4 turret cameras. So I would say let's just set up one of those sets or kits. Therefore, I'm just going to go to the other side of the table and basically do the unboxing. Though this kit basically came fresh out of stock. I have not opened it before, so this is going to be basically a live demo. How you would get your device from us. Okay, let's do one thing. There we go. Okay, so first up, all we're going to do is we're going to set up our recorder. Like I said, this is an UniArc recorder. Exactly, and just take it out of the box. Okay, there we go. So first up, we're going to have here our recorder. As you can see, it's a pretty small recorder. Take it out of the plastic. And let's put this aside. So this would be our recorder. As you can see here at the back, it is an 8-channel PoE recorder with the LAN connection, with the HDMI connection, with VGA if needed, and obviously with our power supply. And as you can see, it's a pretty small recorder, so pretty easy to store if you don't have that much space. And then what else we have in our box? Obviously it comes with the mouse, which is going to be important right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the recorder through the monitor, but also that you can also set up your recorder obviously through the web interface itself. But in this case, I'm going to just do it here on the monitor, which I have on the table. So what else we have here in our box? We have our power supply. and then we're just gonna put the box aside. And what else do we have in our box? Exactly, we have a little bag of screws. This kit also comes with the hard disk. In this case, I'm not gonna mount the hard disk in the recorder, but exactly, so it would come with the screws for the hard disk. Then we're just gonna put this aside. We're gonna have here our recorder, our mouse we're gonna need, and then we're gonna just connect the power supply. There we go. All right, so then we're just gonna connect everything. 2 pieces. We're gonna plug it in. Okay, 1 second. Just okay. See, okay. I hope you still hear me. There we go. So exactly, now I have my NVR connected to the power supply. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to connect it to the network itself. Therefore, I'm just going to take here my network cable, basically plug it in on the LAN port itself. And then next up, I'm going to connect my monitor through my HDMI cable. So we have an image and can basically set it up. And with the mouse, I can then just set up the recorder. Okay, put this aside as well. Here I'm going to connect it to my USB port of the NVR. It has 2, so there is also an option of connecting exactly, connecting a USB stick. So then we're just going to go through the wizard. We're going to select first the language, password. The main default password should be 1234566. We're going to say remember login, and then oh wait, let's see if I'm right. Okay, yes, there we go. So then also it asks me if I want to change the default password. I can say yes and can set a new password. And here we go. We say enter. Oh no, I was the old password, I'm sorry. Okay. Here we go. And then we're gonna set a new password and say enter. We have to confirm it and say enter. We also could set here an email address, but I'm not going to do this, just to make the setup a little bit shorter. And then we say okay. Exactly, then we also have here 3 steps. First up, a step to scan the QR code to download the app for the application. Then to sign in, and then also to add the device, but we're not gonna focus on that now. Then we have the time zone we have to set up. Then the date and date format, the time format, and also the system time, plus synchronization of the camera, so that the cameras are basically taking the time of the recorder. And then we say okay. And then next up would be the network settings. In this case, I'm just going to leave it on the HCP, which is the easiest, even though we'd always recommend giving the devices an fixed IP address. Okay, good. So I'm just going to say okay. One second. go. We have the internal IP address we have to fill in here. 1 second. So basically what I'm doing right now is setting up the internal IP range of the PoE ports. Okay, so and basically now we have set up our recorder. We have set the time, we have set the network, we have set the password. And what I'm basically going to do now is I'm just going to unbox all the cameras to show you that it's basically really plug and play. Okay, so therefore, let's take one of those cameras. So this is the 4 megapixel bullet camera with the fixed lens. Exactly, just take it out. Manual, and we have also here the drill template, which comes with the camera itself. Some accessories, screws to mount the camera itself. And then we have here the proper camera. As we said, this is the 4 megapixel bullet camera. So this camera is a metal camera, pretty sturdy. Here it comes with obviously the PoE port, but also here we have the external power if we would need to, plus the reset button. And then I'm just going to peel off here the sticker, and then just connect the camera to the PoE port. Therefore, 1 second. So I'm going to connect the camera, and then I'm going to connect it here to my PoE port number 1. As you can see, I'm just going to put the camera here on top, and the recorder itself now should just detect the camera, and you should see the camera here appearing on the right top. So what I'm going to do in the meantime that you see it here as well, I'm just going to open up the recorder in the web interface. Therefore, I'm going to use my tool. Here we have the EZP tool. Second. There we go. One second here. Issue here. There we go. So, sorry, a little technical issue. What I wanted to say, I'm just going to open up my EZ tool to check the IP address of the device. I'm going to open it up, and here I'm going to have my web browser. We're going to open it up. Let's see if we can do it without the plugins. We just say admin, and we fill in the password we just gave the recorder. Okay, let's download the plugins. As you already might see, the camera here on the recorder is already logged, is already online. So as you saw, I just connected the camera, and I had to do basically nothing, and the camera popped up. Let's reload this. Say admin. And as you can see here, camera number 1 is already online. So it's that easy. Let's do that with another camera. And maybe we could even use, here I have an 8 megapixel camera. But let's do this just with another camera I have here from the kit itself, just to demonstrate how easy it basically is. We take out all the accessories, take it out of the box. And then we can peel it off here. And then we have camera number 2. And then let's take a cable. And put this in port number 2. And as you can see, I have here 2 cameras connected. The other one is to port number 2. And it just takes a couple of seconds. And the camera number 2 is going to go online as well. Takes a bit, obviously. One second. Use the hardware. There we go. And what we can see now here already on the screen is camera number 2 is online. Here in the web interface itself, which is gonna reload the page. And we can see here also 2 cameras are online. And we're gonna have here number 2. So both cameras here, as you can see. Okay, then next up what I wanted to show is basically the setup of the, or that you don't have to set it up, that's what I wanted to say. So what I basically wanted to say is you connect your camera to your PoE recorder and you don't have to do any setup. Focus, sorry. So what I wanted to say is basically you connect your camera, take it fresh out of the box, connect it to your PoE recorder, and now what I said before is you don't have to do any setup or event setup. The event setup is already activated by default. Therefore, we're going to go into the setup itself, and we can go into alarm. And as you can see here, camera 1 and camera number 2, motion detection is already set up. I can go to ultra motion detection. We can save it, and then we're going to have here, we can choose between pedestrians and motor vehicles. So this is what I was talking before. In Hikvision and UniView and UniArc, it is the ultra motion detection, and in Hikvision, it's going to be the motion detection 2.0. It basically everything is already activated by default, so you don't just have to take the cameras out of the box, connect it to your PoE recorder, and it is working right away. Okay, so I would say that was basically it. Which is I've talked about the key features of the cameras. We have talked about the range. We have done the unboxing of the camera. We have basically done a setup from zero, from the recorder setup to the camera in just a couple of minutes. So really, really easy to handle. So it is definitely plug and play. What I now just wanted to add is just wanted to show you the web interface of the camera itself, and also show you the tool so that you're familiar with the tool itself as well. So let me just bring this tool over here. So this is the search tool of the ECP cameras. With this tool, we can search a tool in our network, obviously not the one which are now connected to the POI recorder itself, but if it's not working through a POI recorder, if it's just on a switch, we can find here our camera. As you can see, I have here already one camera in the network itself. Here on the right side, we can also do some network settings without getting into the camera itself. Therefore, we just have to select it. Right now it's set on DHCP, but I could set here directly a fixed IP address. And here on the bottom, I have a username and password. Password of the cameras by default is 126. But you can maybe see it now right away when you log in. Let's just log in. It's going to ask you just to basically change your default password just for security reason. You can do it after 60 seconds, or you can also edit it now. If we do edit it now, we just fill in the default password, username, and then we set a new password. We can set security questions if we forget our password. Exactly here we can choose the security questions, choose them, go through it, exactly, and just give you just a quick answer. And then here at the bottom, what you also see is the export key, which is really important. So if you forget your password, you have two options to recover basically your password, or basically three. So you can do it through the security questions. You can do it through the key you have exported. So when you set up your camera, you can just export your file here. And with that one, you can recover it. Or also the 5 or 8 megapixel cameras come with the reset button. We're just going to say OK. Now it's going to take about 10 seconds to register. And then I have to log in again. Exactly. So it's admin. And then we are here in the web interface of the camera itself. Obviously, preview is the first option. We can also choose here from sub or mainstream. So this is our Doom camera we have here. Then we also have the playback options. So keep in mind that the 2 and 4 megapixel cameras do not have an SD card slot, but the new 5 and 8 megapixel cameras, plus the Doom camera as well, they come with an SD card slot. So they could also work as a standalone. Exactly, we can just here do playback and search for events. We have picture management, so we can basically download pictures of event. Then we have the main configuration page with the time settings, with the network settings, then also the peer-to-peer option, so this can be used as a standalone camera. We have our image settings we can do here, stream settings of the main, but also of the substream, the audio settings, how it should be used, mic in, then some further image settings plus OSD settings. We can also set up our ones through the camera itself. Exactly, if it can be a basic event, but also a smart event with intrusion and entry area, etc. And then here at the bottom we have the storage management and the schedule settings, so we can basically set up through the camera itself a recording schedule. And like I said before, the cameras, 5 and 8 megapixel cameras, have an SD card slot. In this camera right now, I do not have an SD card, but it would appear here. And exactly as it says here, the SD card needs to be formatted before it takes effect. And then the last option in the camera itself is also maybe an interesting one. especially this here, maintenance and upgrades, just to update your cameras. Always check our homepage if we have new updates for the camera, so this still needs to be done manually. We can also do a factory reset of our camera or just a reboot with those two options. And we also have an log file. So this is just basically a short overview of the interface of the camera itself, if the camera works as a standalone camera and not through the recorder itself. But I just want to point out that basically those cameras are really easy to use and basically made to use with those kits, with those Hikvision and UniView or / UniArc recorders. Good, then I would say that was basically it with the webinar itself. Let me just check if there were any questions, but I think it's a pretty simple system. And if you have further questions, you can also always write us an email or contact our sales team. Good, then I would say thank you for watching and see you in the next training. Thank you.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want to know more about our security products, subscribe to the Visiotech channel and activate the notifications to always stay updated on the latest videos.